Hello, this is Russell Smith with Computer Science 2100. I'm going to be going over the code I wrote for the assignment, the Hangman assignment. So in this assignment, we were given problem set 3, I believe, where we were asked to write a Hangman program with some helper code that was already given to us. I'm going to go over the list of everything that I did here to get the code working, and at the end I'll show my results down here. The couple things we need to import, we were going to be using random here in a minute, so I went ahead and did that, import string, so we're going to be using that also in a second. We had to define where the document was saved for all of the words that we were asked to import, and that's it right here. And this is the function that was provided to us to load those words into the program. This function here is picking a word randomly from the word list. That's why we imported random up here. So for problem 1 in the problem set, we were asked to write a function for is the word guessed. This is the guy that does that. It checks if the secret word has been completely guessed. It does that by iterating through each of the letters in the secret word. And if the letter is not guessed, it returns false. If it is, then it returns true if all the letters are guessed. And then for problem 2, we were asked to print out the user's guess. This is the function that handles that here. So what this does is it returns the guess word so far with underscores for unguessed letters. It does that by initializing an empty string for each guessed word and then iterate through each word in the secret word. If the letter is guessed, then that's good. But if not, then it adds a letter to the guessed word, and here it adds an underscore for each unguessed letter, and then it returns the guess word so far, so it's going to be calling this in the main function down below. And then for problem 3 inside the problem set, we were asked to print out all the available letters still to guess. This is the function here that handles that. It returns the letters that have not been guessed, and there's the string of code that does that. It does turn it all to lowercase, and then it takes out the ones that have already been guessed. And when listening to the problem on Canvas, you said that we could use additional helper functions. I did that here for the handle and the guess, so that it's not in the main body of the Hangman game down here. What this function does, it handles the user guess and returns the appropriate message in a guessed word. Again, just so it's not down in here. It's the if else function that goes through and returns, oops, you've already guessed that letter. Had the letter already been guessed, gives it a good guess if the letter is in there, and then if it's not in the letter, it's gonna run this guy here. And this is problem 4 inside the problem set, the main body of the game, the main function. It starts an interactive version of Hangman that the user is going to interact with while he's going through the game. This right here initializes an empty set for the guessed letters, and also we need to initialize the number of mistakes made, set that to 0. Basically just print here that what the game is asking you to do, and gives a little graphical interface, if you want to call it that, for the game. So here's the loop that runs until the user runs out of guesses, or the word was guessed. Right here we're converting the guess to a lowercase letter. And I also wanted to make sure that if the user was to enter a special character or a number, it would validate that it is a letter, and if not, it will let the user know that they can't enter that it's not a valid guess. And that happens right here. Here we're calling our helper function up above to handle the guessing part of the game, so that we're not doing it inside the main function here. If the guess was incorrect, it's going to increment the number of mistakes made. And then if you guess them all, the game is complete. And if you don't guess them all and run out of guesses instead, the game is also complete, and it prints that here. And down here we're loading the list of words from the words.txt, converting that word to lowercase, and then starting the game. So thanks for listening to me explain the code I wrote for the problem set 3 of Computer Science 2100. This is Russell Smith.